Well, hello, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Lupus. Hi, my name is Laura, and I created this channel in order to bring about increased awareness, education, and encourage lupus survivors like myself. And so today's video topic, we're going to talk about lupus and stress and how they do not fit together very well. They do not go hand in hand. And so let me ask you a few questions before we get into the video. Have you ever felt stress in your life? Raise your hand. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the stress in your life? Raise your hand. Could you use some tips on how to de-stress? Could you use a little bit more peace and tranquility in your life? I would be the first to raise my hand. Life itself can be stressful. And when you compile regular stress with lupus, it sends the body into a whirlwind because lupus is stressful itself. And even though you may be able to look at a person and say, you know what, you don't look stressed, you don't look sick, but it's what's taking place beneath the surface on the inside of a person. And so lupus is stressing the body out anyway because it's attacking the body. Remember, it's an autoimmune system disease, so it's attacking healthy cells at all times. It is, taking things out and trying to attach to things and trying to redo the inner parts of the cell in order to survive. And so lupus matched with stress is not good. And so what are some reasons that we feel so overwhelmed by stress? Regardless of the situation, what are some reasons that make us feel overwhelmed? Like the stress is more than we can bear, like we just can't handle it anymore. And I came up with 4 reasons that you can apply to any situation that you're going through. And you need to ask yourself, am I doing any of these 4 things which is taking my stress level to the highest height? And it shouldn't be that way. So these 4 things, apply this to any situation, ask yourself these questions. And if you are doing this, then one of these 4 things, then you need to stop. And this will greatly decrease your stress. Number 1, are you trying to control things that's out of your control? Number 2, are you worrying about a situation that didn't pan out how you wanted it to? Or a situation that didn't turn out how you saw it in your mind? Are you holding on to that, worrying about that? Number 3, are you overextending yourself, burning the candle at both ends? Do you have too many irons in the fire? Have you not set up healthy boundaries for yourself in which you have not learned how to say the magic words of no? Just say no. And number 4, have you stayed too long in a toxic situation? Stress can take its toll on the body, with or without lupus. There are some things that happen when a person is overwhelmed by stress. There's some things that are occurring in the body that you may not even be aware of or pay attention to. I take stress and I compare it to a volcano. Let's say you go to Mount Fuji or a volcano anywhere in this world that has not erupted in over 100 years. I don't know when is the last time Mount Fuji erupted, but I know it's been a long time. Now you visit this volcano, it looks beautiful, amazing, magnificent, it's peaceful, it's quiet, it's tranquil. But every once in a while, every 4 or 5 years, it'll let out a spit, a sputter, a grumble. There's some smoke, there's some shaking going on. And what that's letting us know is that even though the volcano hasn't erupted in over 100 years, there's some things taking place beneath the surface. There's some changes, some pressure. And what happens is that these are signals, these little spits and sputters are signals that one day this volcano could eventually erupt. And what happens is that once the pressure gets to be too much, the volcano goes into a full eruption. And so that can equate to what's going on with our body. Anytime, whether you have lupus or not, anytime there is unresolved stress or you keep trying to press down the stress and not deal with it, and you keep pushing it down, eventually it's going to come to the surface because stress needs to be dealt with. And undealt with stress, when it finally erupts, The person either explodes, which means they take it out on people outside of themselves, or they implode and they take it out on themselves. It's something that occurs deep down on the inside. So, what makes stress and lupus so bad? What makes stress so bad anyway? The doctors, they warn us that, stress is like the number one cause of death. And so, what's happening? What makes stress so bad for the body? Well, there are some things that occur inside of the body whenever a person is under overwhelming stress or stressed out that we may not even be able to see. The person may look fine on the outside, they may be smiling. It's just like a person with lupus. You're not always able to identify by looking at a person that they have lupus. And so on the inside, what's taking place with stress that makes it so dangerous? Okay, first of all, there are the first two things that are happening is that the body is releasing two hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. And adrenaline was given to us for, if we were living back in the caveman days and there was a bear. The adrenaline helps us to either go into fight or flight mode, which means that we're either going to stay and fight the bear or we're going to turn and run away from the bear. But guess what? The body was not meant to exist for long periods of time in fight or flight mode. Even cavemen didn't walk around for long periods of time with their bodies in fight or flight mode. The body it wasn't created to be in that state of mind at all times. So, what else happens when the body is under stress? What's taking place inside of the body? Whether it's overwhelming stress or minor stress. With any stress, it raises the blood pressure. It can cause anxiety and depression. If you already have it, it can cause it and take it up to another notch. It affects the body in so many negative ways. That's why you hear so much of people trying to get out the word encouragement, motivate you to find ways to de-stress, to relax, to find a way to take a load off. Um, so imagine all of these things taking place in the body and then couple that with lupus. And remember, the lupus is already stressing the body out, it's attacking the body. And so when a person has lupus and they're under or overwhelmed by stress, multiply that by 10. Multiply that by 10. And so whenever a person with lupus is under a tremendous amount of stress, what happens? It triggers a flare up. And a flare up can occur anywhere in the body where lupus is hiding. It can cause an increase in fatigue, lead to exhaustion, uh, cause insomnia, oversleeping, undersleeping, overeating, undereating, weight loss, weight gain, increase in brain fog, in which you can't recall things, or increase with memory problems. It can also create or trigger a flare up in the skin, the hair, the lungs, the heart, the kidneys, anywhere where lupus is hiding inside of the body. And so it's very important for those of us that are dealing with lupus, for lupus survivors, to find a way to de-stress. Listen to some music, read a book, take a bubble bath, go for a walk. Make sure you're getting enough rest, because lupus and stress, it's not good for the body. As a matter of fact, it can, increase your symptoms, cause your symptoms to last even longer, cause your flare-ups to be even worse each time. And so how do we equate the sputterings and smoking and shaking and grumblings of a volcano to what's taking place beneath the surface with us when we're dealing with stress? Okay, so those grumblings and mumblings and smokes and shaking, that can equate to the occasional headache that you have here and there. That's a sign that there's something taking place beneath the surface that needs to be dealt with, that pressure is rising. The occasional stomach upset, which means there can be bouts of diarrhea, constipation, nausea, the sleepless nights here and there. Um, Another equivalent of the sputterings of a volcano is the acne outbreak. Breaking out with hives, more problems with the skin. Um, oh, this is a big one, shedding of the hair. Our hair, it sheds anyway with lupus, it falls out. But it can increase whenever there's undealt with stress there's something brewing beneath the surface, and it's coupled with lupus going on in the body. Also, those muscle aches and, um, those, increase in nervousness. Your body, your back is aching. If you have arthritis, which is like an autoimmune system, it's an autoimmune system disease. Everything, increased pain in all areas of the body, your joints, your back, your neck, everything is taken up to another notch whenever you couple lupus with stress. And so I encourage anyone out there today, if you're dealing with stress, find a way to de-stress, because lupus and stress, they don't make for good friends. They don't go hand in hand. And try to find a way so that you can feel much better, so that you won't have these flare-ups, so that you won't have the occasional, bouts with this and that, or your flare-ups are worse and they last longer every time you have one. So I'm going to end the video at this point. I hope that you found the video informative and helpful. And, if you enjoy the content of this YouTube channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Please share this video with other lupus survivors. And also, if you have any tips on how to de-stress, leave those in the comment sections below. Leave a comment about this video. Okay? And so I thank you so much for taking time out to listen, finding something that I have to say, interesting and informative. And remember, I created this channel for lupus survivors. We're all in this together. We're all, hoping one day to have a cure. But while we're on that journey towards a cure, let's help each other out, Let's keep the information flowing. And let's learn about this disease. And with education, with anything, comes understanding. And then we can deal with it much better. Okay? And so as I get ready to close, as I always say, remember that there is life after lupus. Take care, my friends. Bye for now.